luminous disk sighted by many at Fatima, Portugal on October 13th, 1917. A visit by Mary or something stranger? Estimated crowd that gathered at Fatima on October 13th, 1917 ranged from 20,000 to even up to 70,000. This article was written by Tom Rapsis. Wake Up Call on May 5th, 2021. Quote, "There's a thin veil that separates us from the world beyond our gaze, and it may be stranger than we imagine. We hear about it in near-death experiences, in stories about visits and signals passed on from the dead to the living, and in the tales of visitations from both aliens and angels. It's the latter that I'm going to talk about here, especially the event known as the Miracle of Fatima, where 3 children claim to have been visited by the Virgin Mary." In the book Dimensions, Jacques Vallée, the famed scientist featured in Steven Spielberg's classic Closer Encounters of the Third Kind, took a closer look at the facts surrounding the Miracle of Fatima. Vallée has a much different take on the story than the one told in religious circles. He writes that what many see as a visit by the Virgin Mary, he views as something closer to a UFO encounter with an alien being. Sound like crazy talk? Hear him out. What really happened at Fatima? You may already know the backstory of the Miracle of Fatima. In 1917, in Fatima, Portugal, 3 children found themselves caught in a glowing light, and in the center of the light they perceived a little woman, an entity dressed in white, who spoke to them, begging them to return every month to the same spot. The children said the woman was the mother of Jesus, the Virgin Mary, and return they did. Over a number of months, the 3 children claimed to have a series of encounters with Mary, who shared with them messages from God, missives like pray the rosary each day to bring peace to the world and to bring an end to the war. As the months ensued, the number of people who joined the children grew to the hundreds and then the thousands. The entity dressed in white had told the children that she will cause a celestial miracle on October 13th, 1917. And here's where the story gets a little stranger. When the children would address Mary, no one else present could see who they were talking to. No one else could hear Mary's response. October 13th, 1917 started out with heavy rain in the morning, and many had to bring umbrellas. But around noontime, the rain suddenly stopped. Many began to claim that the sun then came out and began to dance in the sky. The events at Fatima involved luminous spheres, lights with strange colors, a feeling of heat waves, all physical characteristics associated with UFOs. They even include the typical falling leaf motion of the saucer, zigzagging through the air. They also encompass prophecy and a loss of ordinary consciousness on the part of the witness. What you experienced at Fatima depended on your faith. The accounts of what happened at Fatima depend on who you talk to. While some spoke of a visitation by a UFO-like airship, according to a priest who witnessed the event, the spinning globe was a heavenly vehicle that carried the Mother of God from her throne above to this forbidden wasteland. But not all had the same sense of a divine presence. In the link provided in the comment section, I will include a short video by L.A. Missouri, The Fatima Deception. Anyway, years later, an American writer named John Hafford went back and talked to some of the Miracle of Fatima witnesses. One commented that even today, whenever there's lightning, I remember it and I'm afraid. People were afraid and sensed danger? This does not sound like the friendliest of heavenly visitations. There has always been a parallel between those who claim to have witnessed angels of divine beings and those who encounter aliens or, in times past, fairies. These entities often appear out of nowhere and disappear just as quickly. They defy rationale or scientific explanation. They leave an indelible impression on those who experience them, sometimes good, sometimes not. Here's a mystery about this whole incident. Despite the fact that there were at least 20,000 people gathered at Fatima on October 13, 1917, including some photographers and newspaper reporters at that time, there is yet no credible photographs at all that captured this celestial phenomenon. Why? We just do not know. Perhaps for some strange reason or other, this phenomenal celestial event was not meant to be photographed. The same goes for the amazing UFO incident that took place in 1950 in Farmington, New Mexico, USA, witnessed by hundreds of Farmington residents. But not even one credible photograph of the Farmington celestial phenomena has surfaced so far. Something to think about. Now you can read about the most spectacular UFO sighting in U.S. history. It happened in Farmington, New Mexico in 1950. And you can find this article in the link provided in the comments section of this video. This is Norio Hayakawa in Albuquerque, New Mexico.